The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday, 1 o'clock in Frisco, Texas. That can mean only one thing. That you are looking live at a very covered up Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center, the Star in Frisco, Texas, where they getting ready for some tennis this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Big old tennis tournament this weekend. It is 60 degrees, unbelievable weather. Got rid of the rain. The high is 63, the low is 50.
That is Nate. He is Kurt. This is Shannon. In the back is Chris, keeping us live and local. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel when we speak.
Brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. We are in trouble. When we got Jesse on the, how many days are you on now?
What's today?
30th? 30 days of a liquid-only fast.
Wow.
And he's got more energy than Nate Newton. We are in for a long show.
That ain't it. Sometime.
You upset about the coach?
Sometime when you're listening, this is what I gathered. Kurt came in, spoke. You came in, spoke to Jesse. Everybody was speaking to one another. How you doing, Jesse?
And we didn't speak to you?
And no. And, Kurt asked about it. You asked about his fasting.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't take more than 30 seconds before it became about you.
Oh, yeah. You know.
I'm sitting here just listening.
You know.
So, Jesse, short-lived, but once again, that's why I'm sitting here quiet, like, how I'm going to break this to the people.
How's it going, though, Jesse? Till Saturday, you said?
Saturday, yeah.
How you feeling?
Spiritually, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Good,
Just
good.
the revelations that have been revealed to me. Mm-hmm. It's been good.
So it enlightens you as you go through this, right?
Because it's not just I don't eat, right? It's not just like I just don't eat. Uh-huh. But I, like every morning at 5 a.m., I do a 1.5 mile prayer walk. So I go and I walk and I pray. I'm listening to praise and worship music, and my entire walk is a prayer walk. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the day, in place of meals that I would have normal meal times, I either listen to a sermon, I pray, I listen to a word. So I'm constantly feeding my spirit all day long. And in those prayers, I'm asking, hey God, this is what I need. I'm believing for. I'm praying for people, and all that kind of stuff. So, when you ask for those things, the sacrifice is not eating. And I'm getting answers from the Lord in those other areas. So it's been like the body-wise, I'm probably down like 19 pounds.
Mm-hmm. You look good. That's a good walk.
Yeah. Like,
your arms are looking a little frail.
I got to do some more push-ups.
Yeah.
I got to do some more push-ups. But I feel great. Of course, the natural detox of the body. I get really, really tired around like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm done. Like,
what time do you go to bed?
I'm in the bed like 8:30.
Really?
Like, I'm exhausted.
Really?
Like when I get done, because these shows require energy and brains are always moving and people want to talk, and so that always, and I'm in this place, that place, that place. So when I get home,
you're done.
I'm done. Like I'll get me a sip of juice, a sip of drink, or juice or water, and I'm just like.
So this is a spiritual journey for you every year that you do.
Every year.
Tell it for people that don't listen all the time. Tell them what you do and why you do it.
So the fast originated from when I was poor and broke and out of the league, and I was working security and all that kind of stuff. And I remember one of the guys, I went to a church in North Carolina called World Overcomers Church, and they were doing a big fast. And a friend of mine was like, hey, you need to do this fast. And I had never done a fast before. And I was like, a fast? What's that? And he's like, we do this. And he explained it to me, and I was like, wait, so you want me to not eat food And at that time it was 7 days of water, 7 days of just juice and water, 7 days juice, water, fruits and vegetables, 7 days juice, water, fruits and vegetables, and like chicken, and then you finish out the 31 days. And he was like, man, listen, you asking to get you back in the league, brother. You work in security, working at T-Mobile. You need a miracle. So he was like, if you want something that you ain't got, you gotta be willing to do something that you never done. And I start this fast in January, and the timeline, I'm like halfway through this fast, and that's when the first call came in for 4th and long. That was the first initial call that I got. Yes, that was the first initial call that I got from Kevin Best telling me that these people were going to call. I finished the fast. I get the call from 8 Ball Productions, and they start telling me about it. And then everything just started kind of snowballing. And so I said, okay, if this is what I get from that,
We got a deal.
we got a deal. And so I'm like, every year, this is what I will do. And this year is the first year, because even I got halfway through, and the Holy Spirit was just talking to me and just was like, hey, keep going. And I literally was having on a prayer walk, like, wait a second, like, what do you mean keep going? It's like, keep going with juice and water.
Wow.
I'm like, me? I'm looking around like, you got to be talking to someone else. Nah, keep going.
So is it a audible voice you hear, or is it something in your head?
It's in my head. It's in my head, and then you feel it. Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like you just feel that, like, because I'm looking at him like, I'm like, boy, 14 days of just liquids, cool. I get to get the fruits and vegetables next. I get a solid. You know what I mean? And it was like, nah, keep going. Like, keep going. And like in that time frame, I had like this amazing burst of energy for like 3 or 4 days to kind of push me over that hump of like, nah, I can't do this. And it was like, keep going. And I was like, I went about 21 days. It was like, nah, keep going. And just finish this thing out. And so it's been a joyous ride, man.
One of the we've talked about, we won't say what the issue is, but one of the issues that has been kind of bothering you for a while now has been purged out of your life. Did that happen after you started the fast or before? After? There you go. Keep it going, Jess.
I'm just saying. Like he's a way maker. He's a way maker. He listen, when he moves mountain, he gets mountain direction. So
well, good for you.
Yeah,
man.
so it's all good.
It's very admirable. I would love to do it. Bringing it back to me, I'd love to do it, but I don't think I could.
You could.
There's no way. I don't think I mentally could. I might be able to do.
You don't.
3 days.
And you know what that tells me?
What?
That there's not something in your life that you're willing to sacrifice enough for. Because if you believed, like I believe, and I'm not pick your religion, that's on you. I believe in Jesus Christ. But if you believe that what he say he is I am that I am, then that thing can be changed by the Lord. And it requires a sacrifice. Then you don't have anything in your life right now that's worth sacrificing. That you're willing to sacrifice for.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Or I'm too comfortable where I'm at.
That's okay. But there may come a time or day where you have to.
I'll be like, I'm not eating.
Didn't you just do that 4 days in Mexico? Liquid diet.
Yeah. Different kind of liquid. Same result, probably. Different kind of liquid.
You was worshiping something else.
Yeah, you were worshiping something else.
Yeah, that's that idol we be talking about.
You were praying to something.
Yeah.
We might not have been praying.
Same result out the back end.
Yeah.
Different result in the front end.
You might have been yelling, "Oh Lord, oh Lord."
So you will be eating by the next show.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And what is your first meal going to be Saturday morning?
Like the big meal is going to be, I want crab legs and shrimp. I'm going to get a seafood
For
bowl.
breakfast?
No, breakfast is going to be bacon and eggs, something like
Okay.
that. Yeah. But like the big meal is going to be, and I've been kind of like, because I'm not spending much money, so I put a little bit away here, put a little away here. It's going to be a $200 plus meal for me.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You'll enjoy.
Oh, I will. It's
and
gonna
probably
be,
pay for it later that day with.
That's fine. That's fine.
Physical
But my sacrifice is worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my
Well,
reward.
good for you.
Yeah.
I
If anybody wants to
commend you.
donate to the cause, but it's gonna be a $200 meal for me.
Good for you. I commend you on your dedication and
Yeah,
servitude.
impressive.
That's amazing. So, Kurt, how you been? Hair looks good. You got very Jimmy Johnson-esque hair looking today.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
Get
look
a
like
little out of
looking
hand.
like Brian Schottenheimer. I just saw him in the calf. You got the Brian Schottenheimer cut. Now we got to get the visor for you.
I need to
Got to get you a visor.
It looks
a
good.
haircut. That's what I need.
Dude, you should let your hair grow. After what you went through, you should let that. You should sacrifice sacrifice your barber bill for like 3 years.
Now the regulator of sacrifice. Lord, gee, it never stops.
The proprietor of sacrifices now, right?
So, good seeing you, Kurt. Nate, how are you?
I'm sacrificing.
You are?
That's how I'm letting you leave me alone right now before you get started.
Chris, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay. It's weird doing a weekly show because,
We catch up.
seeing each other every day for, 6-7 months, and then we don't, and then we kind of lay off the group text a little bit, and then so when we see each other, it's like, hey, how you been? What's been going on?
Right.
And we do it on air like we do everything else. And
We a family. We welcome in all our stuff.
Well, let's take a quick break now that we haven't talked football for the first whole segment. And when we get back, a lot of news going on, a lot of stuff, a lot of people leaving, a lot of people getting hired, a lot of opinions about everything.
Contract extension.
And I want y'all to explain to me what osmosis means.
We'll do that on the air. And
Just tell me what it means.
All right,
I heard a lot of that.
Osmosis with Nate when we come back in the second segment of Hanging with the Boys.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com.
Blockchain.
Thank you, blockchain.com. Kurt,
Hey.
swing by your local 7-Eleven and grab your favorite item from the roller grill. Then enjoy a big gulp.
Oh, big gulp, son.
For just 89 cents, valid at participating stores. Fill up and get ready for game day. All right, before we go down the football journey, I need to amend something that I said the last show.
Oh.
I said every organization you need to be really tight with 3 different departments. I left one very, very, very important department out. And that department just happened to be listening to the show.
Uh-oh. So you
And
said,
I got a phone call.
You originally said.
I originally said every organization you need to be really close with. What's finance, not in no particular order.
Shout out to Big Rob.
Shout out to Big Rob. Legal. Shout out to Kalisha.
Miss
All
Kalisha.
avid listeners. And IT.
And IT.
Yeah. We'll shout out Jerry McNeil just because he's been
Shout out
here
to Jerry
forever,
McNeil.
and I know Jared. I got a phone call from the one department you really don't ever want to get the phone call from. Would anyone like to guess?
The mail department.
No.
Security?
Human resources.
Human resources.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sharice and Dean and Heidi
Shout out to
and
HR.
Natanya and everyone that's in there that I don't know.
They're listening.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Please tell me.
Sharice called. And this was a couple of days after the show, and she goes, I try to listen as much as I can, and I'm sorry I haven't really listened in a long, long time.
Dang,
and the one day that I tune in, into that. I apologize. So I said I will file an amendment on the show out loud. And so HR is another very, very, very important part.
Want that.
Could possibly be the most important department that you need to be friends with.
So the legal department listens, the HR
Yeah, that's something.
I think that
I don't know.
connected somewhere.
And we're
around
still on the
show.
air. We're still on the air. So okay.
They definitely have our our notices docked up already.
Oh, they have a file. I'm sure
they're
there's
like
a file.
they're like as soon as they say that one thing, they're gonna be like, Jesse, just sign right here, bro. Like
They have the case is built. At any point, they can just slide the
RICO case is already built.
Yes.
When they come, it's no need to fight.
It's right behind Rowdy's file, and we know how that ended for Rowdy. Rowdy's still around.
Yeah.
I guess.
So are we. Here we go. All right, Nate. New coaching hire. What are your thoughts and feelings on Brian Schottenheimer?
As soon as I figure out what the osmosis is, then I can probably answer that right there.
Osmosis is learning by being around things and not particularly studying or researching or anything. You just learn things by absorbing the
So that is how we
words.
hired the new coach. Because he hung around long enough to learn something until, wow, okay, thank you. Our new coach, let's go.
Wow, that doesn't sound like
It's not a ringing endorsement from Nate.
I mean, that's what Mr. Jones said. It is truly that. Hanging around 25 years, watching your dad, watching the other coaches, watching the players,
But that's got to help, though. I mean, so 10 years ago, he was the hot name, one of the hot names coaching, didn't take the jobs for whatever reason. How is he any different than a young Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson's been calling some plays, but he didn't have near as much time and experience. He hadn't been around as many organizations. How is this different?
power.
What do you mean by power?
If you bring in a Ben Johnson, or you bring in a coach that is known for who he is and what he does, he's bringing a certain amount of power with him, a certain amount of authority. A lot of coaches don't do the group text. They like, this is how I want it, this is how it's got to go, and this is how it's got to be. When you come into the field with the Dallas Cowboys and the family, the Jones family, you have to learn to share. A lot of coaches don't play well in the pen. They either is they toy or it's your toy, and they're gonna take your toy. So that don't work that way here with the Cowboys.
Kurt?
Yeah.
To answer Kurt's question a little bit as well. I think there's windows in careers. There's windows across the board, and I think when Shotty had his chance 10 years ago in that particular space, he may have been worthy enough and had the wherewithal to coach in that space. As this game evolves and it changes, one of my big things that I have when you talk about the retreads and the guys who have been around the league 15, 20 years is that they have learned a certain style. They have their foundation of what they are offensively or defensively, whichever side of the ball that may be. And that's what they stick with. Coaches and coaching is a very stubborn, at times, a very stubborn occupation.
Never seen that before around here. Stubborn coach?
Just very stubborn because they feel like, and we've heard it through many coaches, if they do what I asked them to do, it'll work. Just do what I ask you to do. Don't do your own thing. So I think when you talk about what's the difference, I think now his philosophies and foundations and what worked well for him would have been good 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I just find this is my belief, that a lot of them don't change. there may be a little bit of tweaking, but their wholesale change isn't a thing. With a guy like Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn, they're becoming prominent in a current space. And so everything they're doing and learning and approach
in this time frame
is in this time frame. Okay. So now and eventually their stuff will become old because we'll get 10 years down the line and a new system will come about. Now I know that there's only so many things that you can do schematically with football. But players change and rules will change. That'll give you more advantages and so on and so forth. So for me, the difference of the two is, and for Schotty, it's, I guess it's wait and see. And we will wait and see, and we all will be, documenting as we go along. But those are the differences when it comes to the two.
All right, Kurt?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well,
very well said, Jesse.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I guess after hearing him speak and, hearing some of the other people talk, it's like I'm willing to give him a chance, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It does sound like we talked last show about, is it better to be an X's and O's guys or a leader, type? And he seems to have that aspect to him where maybe he can provide that leadership, that motivation, that kind of thing. Let's hope. But as we kind of talked about earlier, I mean, it's going to come down to the players. Mm-hmm. Is he going to get the players he needs? Is he going to get the freedom, so to speak, to do kind of what, is there going to be a Zeke Elliott he has to play, that kind of thing? I have more hope than I did when I first heard the announcement, but what kind of what's going to be around it, I guess.
All right, I'm going to go because I know Jesse's probably got a lot to say, and I don't want to lose my thought process because I have a feeling he's going to fill up the whole rest of the segment. So make this about me, Nate, real quick, which I usually wait till the end, but I'm going to go now. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not excited, not thrilled, wasn't excited about any of the candidates really. Like, to me, Kellen Moore,
4 of them,
Brian Schottenheimer, whatever. You didn't get in on the Ben Johnson sweepstakes. You didn't get in on some of these other guys. So I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to sell my Cowboys loyalty yet. Like
You planning the trip to Mexico next January?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that it didn't matter who you hired. I'm planning that trip. I will not be here, especially now that I don't have to be here for full-time work. I can actually take off and do it from down there if I have to. But yes, I will be going on that trip next year. I'm not excited. I am shocked. I am completely shocked that they didn't go after Kellen Moore. Like, as much as they liked him when he was in the building and the way Jerry talked about him, can't believe they didn't let that, because there wasn't a line waiting for Brian Schottenheimer. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't pursue that unless he just blew you away, right? And now the fans probably would have burned their jerseys if you'd have brought Kellen Moore back and made him the head coach. I don't know if this hire is much different than that from the fan base's perspective, but what I like about the hire is what I don't like about the hire. I like that he's familiar and you don't have to teach Dak Prescott, doesn't have to learn a new system, which I know Jesse has his opinions about. You get paid money, go learn it. Mm-hmm. I like the continuity. I like that everybody that I've talked to in the organization really likes the guy, and they say he's seems like a great person, and he like he said, he brings people together. He's a people person. He's a culture builder, which we talk about that all the time. That's what you need.
What proof do you have?
I don't have any. That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't like about it is the same thing. Mm-hmm. Familiarity. There's no fear, like you said, power, right? There's no fear. There's the same old, and some of these players on this team need to be told, you don't go do your job, you're going to sit, or you're going to be somewhere else, or you're not playing or whatever. And I don't think there's no fear. You bring in somebody from the outside, and there's what's this guy going to do? Like you talked about, they're texting each other. How is he? What's he doing? There's fear. There's no fear. Like what I'm worried about is the lackadaisical stuff that was going on before. It's going to keep going. It might even get worse because it's the same internal machine, and it's the same. Nothing has changed about the processes and the fear. Now, could be completely wrong. We could get to training camp and we're like, whoa, all this has changed. But it's like, I like it, but I don't like it for the same reasons. But I'm going to sit back and wait. And you're right. There's no proof of anything. I'm going to sit back and wait and watch, and then we'll reevaluate it next December and see where we're at. And nobody, everybody was nobody until they were somebody. So we'll see. I'm not ecstatic about it. I'm not thrilled about it. But now it's done. Give the man a shot, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think we have to just live with it. I'm indifferent. My biggest thing is, and it's Schotty. He will have to pay the back taxes of previous failures, and I say that because if you want to sell to me or to the fan base or to anybody, but to me, that you're doing things different. If you're doing things that will put you in a significant position to be contending for the Lombardi, because that's the goal at the end of this all. No matter who you hire, the goal is to put your team in the position to win the Lombardi. And then you hear the phrases like continuity through the change. And I thought Clarence Hill was kind of spot on this on the DLL show that he did earlier with me. It's almost an oxymoron because we don't want the same thing.
You don't want the same result for sure.
We don't, right?
I don't.
There's change, but I want there to be a shakeup.
Yeah.
I want them to have to go and learn new things.
Be uncomfortable, right?
Be uncomfortable in the change.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would light a fire under certain people. Now, we all have to wait to see what the results are. But there's nothing that we can kind of really hang our hats on that says that this will be the guy. And then when you start looking at, Todd Archer did a story this morning, and he talked about, he kind of went behind the scenes on how this thing was broken down. And Jerry Jr. was the guy who was really pushing for Brian Schottenheimer. And even in that, when they brought him in for an interview, it was to bring him in to be their offensive coordinator. And that goes to me, those are the tea leaves that you read and you go, oh, so this was a planned situation where the Joneses wanted to still build their staff their way. Yeah. And that's probably why they stayed away from guys like Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, because those guys, to Nate's point, those guys were coming in and wanting power. Yeah. Saying, and even some of the coaching things now, like there is no correlation between Eberflus and Brian Schottenheimer. They don't have no history together. They didn't work together back in the day. A lot of people are thinking and believing that's who the Joneses wanted to hire. A guy that has been familiar with the Joneses, have been on this side already, that level of familiarity and continuity that they know. And that they could say, hey, we brought you in and now we can kind of do the thing we do behind it. So even that looks like a situation where, and then you hear things like, well, during the time when he was the offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, and Jerry said about it, he said there were times in meetings where he bit his lip and had deference to Mike McCarthy. Well, I don't want a guy that's going to just sit back there and shut up. If what I got to say is going to help us be better, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I ain't going to sit back there and bite my tongue and have deference. No. Hey, listen, that's wrong. We should do more motion this week. We should do so those type of things that I hear and I'm going,
yeah, that didn't sound good.
So now, again, are you going to still bite your lip when you want something done now? Are you still going to have deference because you're going to deference to the GM and the owner and so and so? Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like now, when it comes time to your point where, hey, you late for the plane again? You're not. Yeah. And then you hit he is. You have deference then?
Right.
Yeah.
You're biting your tongue then? Because if that's the case, the continuity that you're talking about, it's not going to change. It's going to be the same thing. So that's my whole thing about it. And we could all be absolutely right, or we can all be absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
But again, it's just that if we're all looking for something different, we're all looking for a change that'll get us to the next level. I would like to be working this time next year. I would like for our show to still be weekly this time next year. I would like for us to be having meetings about, all right, listen, Hanging with the Boys will be in
Radio Row.
Radio Row.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't feel like he gives that to this team, especially when you look around what the rest of the league is doing.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Like, they kept talking about this as a risky move. This, to me, is one of the most comfortable.
It's far away from
far away from risky.
The bottom line, in that power band for me covers a lot of things. You know, not only the coaches we didn't hire and what they were seeking. I want to see your power and your culture. See, to me, culture has a different meaning for every player, for every person. I want to see what your culture is when they start OTAs. I want to see who is practicing, who is not practicing. When you have certain meetings, I want to see who is at the meeting and who is excused. When we go to training camp, I want to see who's practicing and who's not practicing. All of these things, because what your team lacks is continuity. So it starts when you walk out on that field for OTAs, who's at practice. Don't start judging him just when the games start. He going to tell you who he is through the whole training camp. I challenge y'all, make it to training camp. Let's see how this thing go. Because if it's the same way Coach McCarthy did it, you basically going to get a worse result.
Yeah. I think it's the hire that I didn't know who the name was and the person, but it's the hire that I expected, because the only thing I know, you know, my time around here is the family likes familiarity. They like people that are connected. You can see by the way they're putting the staff together now with Eberflus coming back, right? There's that connection there. That's why it caught me off guard when they hired Mike McCarthy, because he had no ties, he had no connections. It was kind of out of left field, but everything else, there's always been he was a coach with this coach, and we're really good friends with this coach, and we got good feedback from this coach and this. There's always there was no risk in this, right? And I don't think as many risks as Mr. Jones takes in the business world, and that's how he made his money and he was able to buy this team, was, you know, he talks about it all the time. He taking chances, rolling the dice. When it comes to the football side, they play it very, 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 very safe. I mean, look at the free agent market. Since Brandon Carr, we talk about it all the time. They don't take chances. They grow their own. They let them go. They try to promote because it's familiar and it's comfortable, and it's, you know, and there's one very comfortable, I guess, extension we could say that we'll talk about next that I think we're probably all on board with. Get y'all's thoughts on, say who that is and what y'all think when we come back, and then some of the other coaching changes that are coming when we come back on the last segment of Hanging with the Boys.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. As we try to put all the puzzle pieces in perspective here, one major puzzle piece that there was, some concern from the fan base. It's probably the one hire or extension that Jerry's made over the past decade, 2 decades that I think everybody's on board with, and that was Will McClay getting an extension. So shout out to Will. Welcome back.
Just saw him in the lunchroom.
So what are y'all's thoughts on that? I think Will's done a great job, and, that's been the one consistent thing that I think has stayed good over the years is being able to find talent. Yeah, you're going to miss here and there, and you can debate, the last draft and all that stuff. But I think for the most part, Will and his staff has done a really great job of finding guys. What do y'all think? What are your thoughts?
I think you got to get better. When you stand pat on drafting, developing, and paying them, you have to follow through. The drafts, last few, I'm talking about first and second round picks, have been just okay. Guys that we have developed, we don't get them on the field, and then we find out by the time we get them on the field, it's too late.
Osa.
It's very much too late. We got guys that are playing prominent roles on playoff teams this year that we drafted, we developed, and now other teams are taking advantage of it.
Lawrence.
So we can't, and it ain't just 1 or 2 guys, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. And so now we got 26 guys that are eligible in some form or way to leave this team. Let's see how many we keep. And do we keep the right ones? I don't know if we'll have any control in who they keep and who they don't keep. Maybe he's just over the draft and pro personnel. But we need to do a better job in holding on to some of these guys. And I'm hoping Coach Schottenheimer, I ain't going to call him Shotty because in my neighborhood, that's a bad name. So Coach Schottenheimer, I hope you do a better job. You say you connect these guys together. Whether it's an Austin Richards starting for you and playing and being a vital part, of saying, hey, if we're going to compete, let's compete and put the best players out there. I can't wait to, and I know I'm going a little bit further than y'all asked for, but I want to see OTAs. I want to see everything you do. Because if you say you're a connector, you're a people person, well, put the best players on the field and let's build a team. And let's hold on to some of our guys. Because if we lose 24 out of 26 guys, that's not a very good job.
I think Will McClay, I am happy for Will just because I know him personally, right? Mm-hmm. So you always want to see a guy that you know personally. And since Will has taken over in the scouting and the draft and all that kind of stuff in 2014. I mean, through the draft, he's found and drafted 15 Pro Bowlers, 6 All-Pros. Now, that's great. And some of the names that we cheer for or have cheered for, fantastic. The problem is, it's like in this league, you're only good as the last draft that you had. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what happened in 2014 to 2015 to 2016 don't make for what's needed in 2025. Mm-hmm. And the last couple drafts for Will has been kind of those that when you talk about hit or miss, it's been more of the misses. Yeah, mm-hmm. So, he has. But one thing I will say about it, and maybe this is just maybe I'm going way too far, but when you talk about him having a 5-year deal, and this was the first year, from my understanding, that he was in on the coaching hire. Normally, he takes care of the draft and personnel, like pro personnel, that kind of stuff. This was one of the first years that he was in on the coaching hire. And I kind of thought to myself, are we foreshadowing a little bit with this type of situation where, listen, Jerry's 82 years old. And I know that he's young in heart and young in spirit and mind, but eventually you have to say enough is enough. And I don't know if that's 5 years from now. And he decides, or the good Lord says, your time here is done. Like he's closer to the grave than he is to the youth. So either retirement or the grave has to be imminent in the future. And now you would believe that Steven would step into that spot of president and owner of the team. I know they all have their shares in Jerry and Charlotte and all of them. But does Steven say, okay, let Will start getting your teeth cut in hiring staff? Mm-hmm. Start getting in on what we're doing on hiring staff, because when I become king, this is what I'm planning to do. I'm just going to be owner and president and maybe promote you just to be the GM. And now allow you to kind of handle those day-to-day things from there. I don't know. I could be crazy. It could be if your last name ain't Jones, you ain't going to hold one of these top level positions. And they got some grandkids that are in the pipeline that may step up in those spots. Jerry Jr. may leave the marketing department and say, all right, I'll come over. And, him and Charlotte I don't know. But I don't. Maybe I'm foreshadowing with that, but they've done something this year that they have not done, and maybe that comes with the responsibility of, in this new deal, we're gonna give you more money, so with more money comes more responsibilities, so on and so forth. But I'm happy for Will, but he needs to have one of those home run drives, especially in this year, because you have a lot of there isn't a position that you don't have a need for. Mm-hmm. Like literally, I mean quarterback, but there isn't a position that you don't have a need.
And if you miss on 3 drafts in a row, You wreck your franchise.
You're setting yourself back.
2 drafts in a row.
Yeah,
that's
1 draft.
You're set back for what, the next 8 to 10 years to catch back up.
Especially for an organization that doesn't spend actively at the high end in free agency, right? So like you can kind of miss in the draft, but you're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go spend some money over here to kind of supplement us missing there. It's more like Nate said, it's all about draft, develop, pay those guys, and that's how they kind of work their system. So if those guys aren't hitting, they ain't going out there bringing top-level free agents in to supplement the misses that they have in the draft.
You wind up with 3 superstars on your team and no help. Like, that's what you got, right? All right, real quick before we get out of here, Eberflus as the DC. Jesse, you got some ties with him. You've spent some time with him. Any thoughts, indifferent on that as well?
No.
Biting your tongue.
Good luck.
Biting your tongue.
Not good luck. I just don't. I mean, at that time, he was linebacker coach, and that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. He had Sean Lee. Hey, Keith Brookins, way to go,
brother. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
End us on a high note, Nate. Come on, end us on a high note.
Go Cowboys.
How about that, Cowboys?
If this is gonna be different, this is not you can talk. He did a great opening. I mean, they opened with him. Normally they let Mr. Jones open. He opened it up. I mean, he started from, inspirational. All that is good. Into the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, you down by 3, you own your 30, and we need to take this thing to Philadelphia to show that we're competitive. What you gonna do, bruh? You think the speech gonna help? Or you think putting these players in the proper position and keeping the right ones gonna give us what we need as fans? That's my deal. I'll be watching you, Mr. Schottenheimer. I'll be watching you, because that's what you left me with. Everybody else we could put something on. Ben Johnson, creative. This guy, a taskmaster. This guy, he runs everything. We know everybody who was out there. We don't know this guy, so we have to stay neutral as media, and now we have to have a critical eye. It don't nothing come with him, but he learned by watching, by doing, just by seeing,
osmosis,
and never took control of anything. So we'll see. And I just think the fans deserve to kind of know what they're getting. But just like us as media, we don't know what we're getting, so we can't be super critical or we can't be over the top. We know you can make a good speech, but can you coach these men?
And one last little tidbit on that. Life is completely different when you're just a coordinator and to when you're in charge of everything. Practice plans, travel, uniforms. You know, like there's so many things that
how you gonna practice?
I'm dealing with off the field stuff because some of my players got this stuff going on, and I got this guy upset, and you know, and Eberflus, he runs a pretty basic defense, so he gonna have to do some crisis management when some other guys on that defense saying, hey, I don't want to keep staying in this stagnant spot that you normally run your regular players in. I'm used to being moved around, and I'm used to being shown off in a way that this ain't really. So how do you handle crisis management? How do you handle all of these things? The media, podcast, it's a lot that comes with being a head coach. So those attention to details that are needed when it comes to being the play caller and the head coach for a guy who's never done it, yeah, we watch him.
Well said. We're watching.
Yeah.
So are the fans. So
University of Texas, y'all, they don't know I got eyes on you.
There you go. There you go. Jesse, good luck on finishing out.
Yeah, appreciate it. We also got to say to our guy Kyle and Jack Williams, Lucas. His birthday's Saturday. Lucas is turning 3.
All right, Lucas. All right, baby.
Lucas is turning 3, so happy birthday.
Watch your daddy. Watch your mama.
Brother.
The osmosis will be in effect.
Yeah.
Jesse will eat some ice cream for you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Go,
some
Jesse.
cake, too.
Yeah. Good luck for
So
luck
what,
on
too?
finishing
Cake,
out.
TPs.
Oh, okay.
TPs. I'll be.
Watch out.
Yeah,
Cake,
watch out.
cake.
Cake. Get it ready for me Saturday.
Yay.
Baby, I'm bringing that Super Bowl pack from Wingstop, baby.
There we go. So Jesse will be well hydrated and
Man, I've just been busier than Jesse Holly at the trailer park with a case of wings.
Yeah.
Good one there. Good one.
This weekend, baby.
Fueled up on Tuesday, next Thursday.
Yes.
Chris, get us some wings in here on Thursday so Jesse can eat. Work on that. Kurt, good seeing you. Nate, hey, I like serious, no BS.
Man, we buy tickets every year. We buy tickets every year. Hey, I'm more than just talking about this thing.
Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Jazz and Josh, thanks for keeping them company. Chris, strap up.
Josh still back there?
I don't know. Strap up the backpack, Chris. We coming.
Oh.
Whoa.
We out.
Oh, Hanging with the Boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?